Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'll be covering an analysis of the overall market today and just a quick introduction of who I am and what I do. My name is Henry Hunt. I am part of the US Investing Championship. I'm currently one of the best performing traders there with over 40% returns in the last 7 months. And only trading stocks. And also, I think throughout the videos on my channel, you're going to be finding out my strategy, how I approach the markets and so on. But today, the video is about the overall market conditions, where we are in stocks, crypto, commodities, currencies, etc. And then we're going to be looking at my portfolio in both stocks and crypto. I am a swing trader, so we focus on that. And we're going to be covering a few new ideas that I have in both stocks and cryptos. So without wasting any time here, I want to go straight into the analysis. I want to go into analyzing the S&P 500, and you'll see my outline, a lot of drawings. I'll be explaining them throughout the video. My idea was that we were going to get some resistance at this trend line. There were a bunch of other traders online that probably have mentioned similar zones. It's a zone where we've seen this upward trend, and every time it hits, we get some sort of resistance. Okay, so we've had it here a few times, here, and recently in July, so end of July. Personally, I expected a deeper dip just because we had a gain of around 33% in just 2-3 months. And I was expecting maybe a dip of around 7-8%. What we actually had was a dip around the 20 EMA and a quick buy up. And the main reason was we had a bounce off this near 50 level on the RSI. We've had also fundamental reasons why that's happened. And what I'm actually looking for here is an overextension. That overextension for me is 6,600, meaning that we can get maybe another from this area here, maybe another 3-4%. And as a swing trader, somebody that buys the leaders in the stock market, I'm expecting to make at least 3 times that. So maybe around 12 to 20% on this move. We've entered in a few shares here, and I'll be explaining my portfolio and what I'm positioned in and why. But as you can see here around this zone, we exited many of our positions here. We re-entered here on positive earnings, for example, tariffs being moved for another 90 days. We've had a lot of other fundamental reasons as to why we're seeing this move in the market. Now, personally, I'm very, very cautious here. So I'm optimistic, so I'm cautiously optimistic. The reason being is we did have overextensions here, and I think we potentially get a bearish divergence on the RSI, and that could be a trigger point for a sell-off. Another reason why we had this buy up, and I think why we're seeing this continuation, is hedge funds and investment funds were behind here, and they didn't capture this April move. There's traders such as myself who capture this move here and have actually traded it in multiple levels with some bounces, because I tend to get out of positions when I see weakness in the S&P 500. So we have strength. I think the strength can probably resist around this area, around 73, 75 on the RSI. And as long as we're above the 55 level, I think we can still say that we're bullish in the market. On the weekly side, we have plenty of room on the RSI to move up higher. You can see here that we can probably gain maybe another 3 to 5 weeks of positive movement here before it becomes overbought. And then if we're really going to get a bullish market and a market that pushes even higher, it can be 12 to 16 weeks, because this will drag us out all the way to October, November, and December here if we do push up higher on the weekly chart. But I tend to focus on the daily, and it looks pretty healthy here. Nice bounce, and then a continuation on earnings, and we're up and away now for that 6,700 level. For the Nasdaq, slightly better performing here. We know that tech has been doing well. We know that big tech, the top 10 companies, are dominating the markets and they're doing well. We're seeing new highs being created here again and bounce on that 50 RSI level, and then we're not overbought yet, maybe around here. And we have plenty of room to move up higher. Again, I thought this would probably sell off here, but the overextension zone I have is 24,071. That's a zone that I've marked many, many months ago around this double top area where I thought potentially we could get the overextension. And the reason why we're having this move is we had a big sell-off. If we have a big sell-off, we have a lot of room to maneuver and a lot of upside. And I think the market's also reacting pretty well to the current market conditions and the fundamentals. One thing that I am watching for is the Russell. So you can see here the Russell broke out. I thought it would stay within the wedge. It's broken out here, and potentially this could be where we can make some serious money. Maybe 7% on the Russell, but again, my aim is 3x of whatever the index is providing. So if we buy some stocks that are listed or included in the Russell 2000, we could probably make maybe around 21 to 30% on this move. So we'll be positioning ourselves in growth stocks and small caps, and that's generally what I tend to buy anyway. What I am slightly concerned about, and I mean, I like where the VIX is going here, but it also leads to concern. Under 15, we know that there's market growth. We know that there is a lot of confidence in the market, less fear, and we will see the market do really well. And that's where we're entering right now. So either we're going to get some resistance here very, very soon, because we typically do get resistance around this zone, or we're going to see the VIX move down to around 12, 16, and then we get a big sell-off. So whichever scenario happens, we are positioned to profit from this scenario, with my portfolio at least. It's just about keeping an eye out on the VIX. If it does go underneath this 14.7, which it has, I think today we're around 14.5. If I can zoom in here, there you go. If we continue this trend, we're going to be very, very good here for that overextension in the market, and some nice profits leading up to September. So August is looking pretty good right now. But it's, again, a very, very key moment here that if it does resist, we should be ready to sell off quickly and take our profit in these positions that we have opened. Okay, so that's the S&P 500, the VIX, the Russell, etc. I want to cover now the dollar, because it's very important we keep an eye on the dollar. As you can see here with the dollar, we had a head and shoulder pattern, which I thought would lead to a big sell-off in the market. It was a bit of a pullback. That's exactly what happened. We had that just under 20 EMA zone being tested, and then we've had a sell-off on the dollar, and we potentially have another retest here with the 39 level on the RSI, maybe a little bit lower. And if we want to maintain a higher high and a higher low, we have to make sure that we don't go under 97. Otherwise, I think the dollar could continue moving lower here. So that's the zone I'm looking at. I'll add an alert here as well, just in case, just to manage the analysis here. But the dollar looks like it wants to move down a little bit. It's weakening. Money's flowing into the markets, flowing into growth, as you can see with the Russell when I showed it to you just a minute ago. And it's looking good in general. Natural gas provides some good opportunities. I think the seasonality will kick in very soon. We're at a very good zone here for a buy up. I think around late August, early September, we get the seasonality kicking in for the winter months. I'm keeping an eye out on here. I'm keeping an eye out on natural gas, and I think we can play some nice stocks here on the list. LNG, big natural gas player, KMI. This is one of my favorites. I've traded this a few times this year. We've had some opportunities, but no like real big move here. As you can see, traded it here, kind of just got out with some profit. I was expecting a bigger move, didn't happen, and we've traded it here as well recently, and we're going to be looking to trade this come the seasonality of natural gas. Gold, I think it's very important that we look into gold. As you can see here, gold is consolidating, and personally, I think we go short under 3.33k, and we go long above this 3.4k. So we're kind of in a bull bear consolidation here, where there's a bit of buying, a bit of selling, and there's indecision in the market, volatility, and I want to see a breakout momentum and then a follow through into a trend. But this is what I'm seeing with gold here. I would take this short here. It would be very good to take this short here, and it's a high probability trade considering where gold is after this huge move higher. But gold does get bought up very, very quickly, and I think there's still a bit of insecurity in the market. Okay, that's it. And then we have crypto. We'll cover Bitcoin here very quickly, just to kind of see the condition. Ethereum, one of my biggest and best performing trades. And I will say that if you guys do want to go and check out my trades, some watch lists that I provide during the week, and some other free analysis throughout the week, you can join my free Discord group. And you can do that by following the links in the description of this video. But let's go into crypto. The breakout was the key here, right? So without taking anything away too much, the breakout above 15.8k was the key for me. And I think what I want is a breakout above 22.4k, 122.4k for the overextension. Obviously, a nice move in crypto overall here. But I liked the breakout. We've seen the follow through. There's two scenarios I was running through in my head, which was resistance, come back down, then the build up. But we had an instant breakout here. It's been pretty good. And personally, I think it's looking nice. There's no shorting here. But opportunity, I thought there would be a shorting opportunity if we do get the resistance. I think I'll just put an alert here just to see if it tests this zone. The RSI is looking good. We've broken out here out of this trend line. It's building up momentum, but I just don't like that it's a bit slow, and I think it could drag the rest of the market down if we do get a sell-off in Bitcoin. It could drag down the rest of the market. The dominance of Bitcoin, though, it has been going down, which is a positive for altcoins, and you can see here on the side that most of my altcoins in my portfolio are doing really well, and the dominance is falling down here, as you can see, very, very nicely. Instead of having this retest here, we had a retest of the EMA and then a sell-off. So it's been pretty good. But what I'm watching out for very, very carefully here, you have to be cautious all the time. Things are looking great right now, but they might not look great in a few days. The bullish divergence on the RSI. Because we had this huge sell-off on the Bitcoin dominance, we had an uptick and another sell-off. The divergence will probably be the key moment to get out of this trend that we're in. So to take profit, I think would be the divergence on the RSI as a key pivot point, and it's what I'm watching for with Bitcoin and the crypto in general. With Ethereum, we've traded this since 1.6k. We've taken a couple of trades from this zone here, and then we've traded over and over again. And then here we have the third move here, going on a retest of all-time highs, 4.8k. Very, very nice. We've captured this one from 3.7k. The previous one was 2.5k until 3.7k. And then here it was 1.8 to 2.5, 1.6 to 1.8, 1.7. So we've kind of traded all this movement upwards, and we've also captured this move downwards here. But Ethereum is looking very, very good. Top performer for me this year in crypto. It's where I'm putting a large amount of my capital, position size and wise. I'm risking maybe 5, sometimes even 10% of my portfolio on Ethereum when I feel very, very confident in it, which will be these big swing trades. here. So it's looking good. I will be looking for resistance on. In terms of my portfolios, I think let's go into my crypto portfolio first, and then we'll go into my stock portfolio, and then we can kind of summarize it with a few ideas that I have in the market. So Solana is a recent trade that I took. We traded this from 1.6k. And we have huge upside potential here. If we go to a retest 1 to 10, I thought that we would get it in this initial move. We made 1 to 2 on this one, and around 1 to 4 on this. But this one could be a big winner if we get some follow through in the market, which I think we are at the moment. Cardano is doing well as well. Again, I think huge upside potential here. We had this initial move, which we sold around this area for 1 to 4, and we just traded this zone. It's around here, and we have huge upside again here, 1 to 6, maybe even 1 to 9 again here, if we get back to that November December hype, so Trump hype in crypto. And I think we will, and I think that will be a key moment where alts will be a sell. And I think that's what I'm waiting for. I want that overextension, that euphoric buy-in, then a big sell-off at the November December zone. That's what I'm waiting for with my alts. Link has been very good, not LinkedIn, very good here on this move. We traded again around this area. All of this, you have the proof in my Discord group. It's complete for free to join. I share screenshots of my trades, current positions, etc. So you'll be able to see that I'm not just saying this, I'm actually following through and I'm trading these opportunities. So far, we've made 1 to 6 on this one. 1 to 5. I think we can go all the way up to 1 to 10, 1 to 12 on this if there's some follow through, but there will be dips on the during this upward tick. And Dogecoin as well. Early days here, we traded 1, 2 moves, and then now we traded this one as well from this area. I tried to capture these ones a little bit early with the idea that we can get the overextension and the higher highs being developed. So the higher high would be maybe around here, 1 to 7. A lot of these, this is the list here on the side. You guys can go in and analyze line by line, look at everything, but and then join the Discord group, of course. But I can't go through everything here. You can go and analyze it and look at it yourself. In terms of stocks, though, MicroStrategy, I think it will be a big winner here if Bitcoin moves up high. And I think once the dominance of Bitcoin balances out, bottoms out at a certain level, and we see an increase in the dominance of Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin move up to 129,000. With that move, we will see MicroStrategy do really well. And I think it's still early here on this trade. We've taken it around this area. So you as a listener still have an opportunity to trade this if you want to. Again, none of this is investment advice. It's just me showing you what I'm doing and how I'm trading and what opportunities we're looking at. But MicroStrategy, I think, is has big potential with Bitcoin rising, and then we've got the RSI over 50 here as a trigger point, and then some momentum. We just need this one big momentum move, and I think we can do really well with MicroStrategy as well. Maybe a 1 to 6 on this one. I've liked the consolidation here, and here we are today. We traded this around this area, so we're kind of a bit behind to get this opportunity. I think I wouldn't suggest that you chase the market in any way whatsoever, but the breakout yesterday was maybe another potential trading opportunity. I think Alibaba can go back to all-time or recent highs, which is 1 to 10 for us, based on what we've bought when we've entered. And I think it's a nice trade here. JBL, we've had a nice tightening above here. And I traded it around the breakout zone here for, I think maybe we can get an extension here, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. It's a nice little trade and add to the portfolio. It just adds a little bit of volume and size into the portfolio. We have FIG, Figma, AI. This is an IPO play that we've taken in the Discord group, and we've entered a few around 82, so around this area here. I think this could be a big one. So I think this one we can get a retest at least in this area here, so 1 to 6, but we can go maybe 1 to 13. Bear in mind, guys, I risk around 1% per trade. Some trades 0.5, some trades 1.5%, depending on the size I want to put in. But this one will probably make me around 5% or 13% on my portfolio if it moves well. And I think it can with some momentum. AMPH, pharmaceutical here, good earnings. I like the earnings. I like the volume that came in. And I traded it around this area here after that pop off. So I think this one, we're currently on a 1 to 3, and it has a huge upside potential. It's a bit overbought, so we're probably going to get it in stages, but I like it. I like where we are. I like the momentum that we're seeing on this. And even if we get a dip, I feel comfortable holding it so that we can probably get 1 to 5, 1 to 6. Where is it? Yeah, I think this area here is a nice area to retest. 1 to 5. SoFi, there was a high tie flag on the 1 day. Look at this area here, and then we traded, pulled the trigger right here. We don't need the Fibonacci. We pulled the trigger around this area here. Again, all of these trades available on Discord. There's a free section of Discord where you can see the proof. And provide also a watch list. This was part of my watch list for free. Every day I share what I'm looking at and what I potentially will trade. I don't trade everything that I share on the watch list, but this was one of the things that were on the watch list. I think every trade here was actually on the watch list. It's just whether I traded it or not. Tesla has been very good, very, very good to me on this move, and I think we can get some nice follow through here with plenty of space on the RSI for it to become overbought. I think a breakout. We entered early. We entered around here. And the idea was that if we get to this area, we make it 1 to 6. And I'm willing to hold Tesla even on a dip. So I sold a bit yesterday. Then I regretted it. I already bought around the same price. So yeah, I think I'm going to hold this through for an overextension here. And maybe a retest of 400 again. AMD has been very good. I've traded this multiple times this year. And yeah, I think after this consolidation here, this goes to 200 if we get follow through in the market in general. So the trade was around this area here. 200, we make 1 to 4. We've already made a 1 to 11 here, and we can make another 1 to 4. So we're recycling capital and profits. Joby was one of them that I bought yesterday. I think aviation stocks would do well. And defense, I think this 1 to 4. Archer is what I shared today as an idea. I think this nice buy up here, and we'll be looking potentially around this area on a retest for that, maybe a move up higher, a move down, and then a breakout. That's what I'll probably be looking for here. And I think it's without passing this level, 10.47, I don't think I'll buy, but we'll see. This is part of my watch list. I share this on Discord. Again, I'm providing you guys with a lot of free content in the next few months. And we will be also sharing on video my daily analysis as much as I can do, because I have a lot of other commitments, but I will be sharing content online. What I suggest is you guys follow me on YouTube. I will be sharing daily videos. Every week, I'll be doing a performance review of my stocks. So you guys will see the proof. You'll see go into my actual live trading account. That's also being used for the US Investing Championship. And I'm ranked as one of the top guys there for this year. And I will also be doing my monthly review of my portfolio performance, which will be based on what I've achieved for the monthly reporting for the US Investing Championship. On top of that, I will be making other content. I will be sharing ideas, opportunities in the market, and so on and so on. So please subscribe Also, go and follow me on other social media such as Instagram, TikTok, where I'll be making short form content, maybe breakdowns of best performing videos, best performing stocks. For example, Big Bear AI was one of my best performing stocks this year, 1 to 10, and we sold it just before the dump. Okay, so that's the key here as well. We know when to sell, we know when to buy. We bought up this nice move here, and this is the reason why I have so many annotations, because we made a video and we posted it on Instagram and TikTok, me sharing this, and then obviously we had the dump, but we didn't get called out on that significantly, and we've made a lot of profit on this move up here initially. So there'll be a lot of other content coming, so do follow. The Discord is the best place if you want to stay in touch, if you want to see my analysis every day, if you want to watch, if you want to see what my watch list is for cryptos and for stocks. So much free content will be given and so many free ideas in terms of what are the best opportunities. And you'll be able to trade them and use them for free. There are obviously there is a paid version of the Discord, but again, you don't have to. It's more of try before you buy. If you're interested in following some of my trades and my ideas, you can then join. All right, that's it for me for today. Tomorrow we'll be doing this again. We'll be covering where we are, new ideas, maybe some other bits and bobs. Take care.